Hi everyone. I'm here to critique and talk about your pattern assignment, and we're gonna be discussing the group spheres right now. So let's start with Ellen. I saw that you resubmitted your work and it's so much better in quality. So thank you for doing that. Um, I mean, I love how this one's great, like in terms of like grid and like your cutouts are just so delicate and I can really see how much patience went into this, and I'm almost like amazed at like how many shapes you actually cut to do this. And like at first I thought that you maybe did this on the computer and just repeated it, but I think it's like you actually cut all of this out because they all look different. So props to you for that. This one looks awesome. This one I really loved. I mean, like, I love how it's like little tiles put together and that's like your motif. This almost reminds me of the Spotify logo, which I thought was funny. But yeah, this one has like a super fun quality to it. I can definitely see it in color, like a yellow or a blue. That would be super nice. And I can see this as a pattern in like babies' toys or something. That's what it reminds me of. I like the soft edges. This one was just incredible. I mean, wow. And sorry for the weird zoom in, since Google Drive is kind of weird for that. But oh my gosh, there's so much going on, and like this movement that you've created and like this super delicate lines are incredible. I mean, like, I'm super impressed, and I can really like I can see how much time went into this. So like thank you so much for spending time perfectioning your cutouts. I would love to see this one tiled like on a kitchen, or even on like as like floor tiles would be so beautiful in blue. That would be awesome. This one is so beautiful. I love it. This one is so nice. It reminds me of someone else did something like this. I can't remember which group. I think it was on the other section though. But this honeycomb structure, super, even though like it's kind of like a twist that you made into it because they're not like perfect pentagons. I like how like soft some of them are. You have this like really soft and fun theme going on, which I really appreciate. Again, it reminds me of like babies toys or like baby products stuff. And I can see it in like pastel colors, if that makes sense. Sorry if I'm getting a little bit off track, but I like to see, like, I like to think about how these could be applied to real products in terms of like graphics. But this one is really nice. I like how you I guess this is a bee. So I like how you included that element just to break down a little the pattern and make it more interesting. And this one I thought was super nice as well, even though, I mean, I guess it is a pattern because of how symmetrical it is, but you know, tiling this one would be what would actually make a pattern eventually. But yeah, super nice, like super clean cutouts, great documentation. Thank you so much for resubmitting. This one, I liked how playful it is, that like in a sense that it's not perfectly lined or symmetrical. It almost feels like it's like pieces falling down from the composition. So I think that was a nice play with that. I would say maybe play a little bit with the weight of the shapes because they all right now are a little bit similar. You can actually see when they overlap that it would be better if this one was like thinner, for example, like more slim. So it would like pop out more against this shape. But other than that, great work. And thank you so much for resubmitting for better quality. It really helps. Okay, we have Scott. Just gonna go through them quickly before I start talking about them. I think, oh, I love this one because I know it's an E, but it could also be just like little moments in like a, you know, like a tool or something. So I like how it's the E is almost disguised, especially here because of the borders are the same size as like the spacing in the letter E, it looks like so much better. Let's see which one I want to talk about. This one, I think the only reason it works, it's because of the white pencil. Obviously, like I can see that you're lining this so you can see the borders. I would say stay away from overlapping too much like this. Like you can overlap, but I think the same shape over and over just results in like having a big blob. So actually having the spacing of the paper instead of like drawing it in with a pencil, which be so much more nice and would create more texture, even though it like, because I think this just ends up being super flat at the end when you overlap it like this. So I see what you're trying to do, but I would like to see the actual white paper. It would be, I think, the best way to approach this. Someone else did something similar to this, and I was like, you should stay away from that. So I would encourage the same for you. And this one, I think you could have played a little bit more with the shapes here. I mean, you can use the circle as a simple shape, but like you should get a little bit inspired by the egg beater and the other tool that you chose, just to create more fun shapes and just do something different with the pattern so it's not so predictable, you know. And this one, I like how simple this one is. I think like what I was saying, you employed other you know, different tools to draw inspiration from, and then you added the simple shape. I think that's fine. Like the simplicity here works. I would like to see this one tiled, like maybe oops, sorry, like 1, 2, and 3, and then you have the fourth one, but then you flip it so the circles would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you make like other shapes as you tile it. That was something fun to think about. Thank you, Scott. Now we're gonna talk about Anna's. Oh, I like this one. It almost looks like apps overlapped, if that makes like phone apps, if that makes sense. That's what I'm seeing. Like it kind of looks like a bunch of icons overlapping each other. I like how these are sort of like on a different axis than these are. Like I like how this one's sort of diagonal and the other one's going this way. It's a nice unpredictable moment. Nice. I like this little shape over here. I think it's fun to combine with slimmer shapes like you did over here. And this has really nice movement to it and rhythm. I really enjoy this one. I think it becomes really three-dimensional. You can like, I can almost feel the little squiggly thing going around like inside the rectangle. So I think that was a smart way of employing different line weights to create different effects. This one, I really like it. And I can definitely see this printed on like fabric or textiles. I like how all of these shapes are not the same. Like I like the variance in that. I just wish they were placed I guess differently, just to get a little bit more movement and have it less gritty, if that makes sense. Like you can still use a grid and have different elements that are not just going in a line. You can make like a diagonal motif and they're still in a grid, you know. So that's what I would say about that. But I like the different shapes and how they're not all perfectly the exact same one. Oh, I love this E. This E is like awesome, like because it can be an E or it can just be like this organic shape, and I love that ambiguity so much. I see you keep using these little thin strings. I think those combine really nice with the chunky shapes. So well done. And I can also see this like on a kitchen or even like an apron would be really nice too. Thank you, Anna. Now we're gonna talk about Angela. Oh, I like this shape, super elegant. Good use of positive and negative space on this one. I think that's what makes or breaks this composition. I wonder what happened if you like tilted maybe one of the shapes instead of all just going down straight. Could be fun. I like this one. I kind of wish the small circles interacted a little bit more in the spaces. Like still keep them here, but I want to see it all throughout. I think that would be a really nice intertwining moment. Whoa. Okay, this one is very, very nice. It almost looks like you did it on Illustrator. Super well documented, and again, like great play on positive and negative space. You can clearly see the shapes, even though it's just like a visual illusion type thing. But yeah, love that one. So trippy. And this one, I think having a variation of line weights for this one would have been helpful to make it more interesting. Like all of this spacing is pretty much the same. And so your eye sort of already predicts what's gonna happen. This one is a little different moment that I wonder why it didn't happen perhaps here or in the middle. So like adding different shapes or different line weights to the composition would add more interest to your 5x5 square. Oh, this one is so cute. I love this one. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice the letter E. I like just saw this little creature thing going on. I don't even know if you noticed that, but it looks like a little, almost like a little Pac-Man. I love the disguise of the letter E on this one. Like I'm telling you, I didn't even see it until I realized it was the last composition. So great job for this one. I would love this on a kitchen tile. That would be super nice. All right. Great job, Angie. Thank you so much. Now we got Shelby. Shelby. I like this little motif. Oh, this one is so nice too, contrasted with this one. All of these shapes are awesome. This could be like easily like an apron. And it almost doesn't bother me how straight they are and not like, diagonally. I think the shapes are crazy enough that you can allow yourself to be a little bit more boring when it comes to the grid. So that's great. Ooh, drippy. Super love this one. I think like obviously you're inspired by the egg beater and whatever other tool you decided to use. But in a non-literal way, like you're not directly representing these tools, you're clearly just taking representation from them. Sorry, not representation, but you're clearly just taking some design elements from them. And it really comes through because you just make your own shapes, but they still have some elements that come through, and I think that makes it really successful. It almost looks like, at first glance, if you don't pay that much attention to it, it looks like something that's dripping. So I really appreciate this one. I kind of wish it was in color. That would be so much fun to see. Like maybe each one of these is like a different color and you just have a really fun pattern. Whoa, this one is awesome. Haven't seen many like these. I think it's just really like, I love the play of space in here, like how thin this white space is really helps to create the shape and the movement. It almost looks like it's just like going like this. Yeah, great. I can see this like spinning in my mind. This one's kind of similar to your first one, I think. You probably took the same elements, or maybe not. Like this one, we saw it before. I like it. I like that it's like repeated in a different way. Nice variation. Same for this one. Love the shapes. Nice play on the change for the direction of the shapes. I love this one. It's so cute. This one, same thing. I mean, all of your patterns are awesome. I think they're just kind of like They're clearly part of the same family. They just keep playing with the placement, and I guess some shapes vary as well. But look how good all of those look. They look like a little family. Love them. This one, I could see this like as a floor tile easily, like all of them actually. Great job, Shelby. And thank you so much for such a great documentation. So clear and clean. Love to see that rich black and those whites. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for such great work.